See, and Dust2 is such a key map to help us deliver it, and that's exactly what we're going to be heading into right now as we see who can persevere. Can IHC hold out? Can IHC make sure that this goes to a third, bring it back to the tested grounds of Overpass, or is this going to be a victory for NKT? We'll have to see inside the server as we head right into it.
Not exactly the battleground we expected to see as a selection for either of these teams. If it was going to see play, it was going to be a decider, but IHC decided that they were going to take the fight to them. Dust2, so start on T side will be IHC, and they have a single belt of utility to try and play around. Off of short, ooh. Dangerous stuff to be doing if you're 9, but still ducking and weaving. Flash in for Dobu in at the doors and won't be able to find anything from it. Just getting a few select peeks, a few select angles, and Techno's ready for the Dobu wide swing. 9 cannot trade and will be forced to fall.
And his fadeaway has been swatted out, but he's actually still jiggling out this corner. They know how crucial it is not to give up short control. Long is not something they can contest for whatsoever. And as these sets of smokes start coming out towards his B bomb site, Urcast is going to be lurking inside it and maybe even pushing forward. 9's demise means the A side is completely open for business. XigN, the only person who can maybe even think about contesting, and he is going to be requiring some nasty headshots. And as he fades back, goes for initial peek, he's being overrun. Cabal missing out his bullets, and with this, at least NKT have a chance to try and bring things back with some good shots, but those shots will not be landing.
Cut through the feet. These bullets cut deep, and I don't think this is a round that'll feel too great to try and get back into 3-on-5, and they've clustered heavy in the bomb site. Great shot from Urcast to open things up, but Cabal still dancing between these angles, trying to buy room for his other teammates.
Urcast is hoping that Kens can be given the required space to walk up a ramp, find the kills, but the late short lurk is what's going to come through and dismantle them, score to lock them down and give IHC the guarantee of that round. The first kill is all it seemed like they needed to find, and as soon as Techno gets that one, they've got everything ready to roll.
Lurks always strike the hardest when you have a numbers advantage. It can also be a way that teams come back into rounds once they suss out where that is. But given the urgency, you know, no kit, the fact that IHC had so heavily swarmed that site so quick, NKT had to get a move on and didn't have time to wait around. Great stuff from IHC. They played a very passive early start to that game, understanding what NKT would likely bring to the table. The short aggro, the mid peak. Nothing caught IHC off guard in that round. Interestingly enough, no scouts being bought up by NKT. It feels like this map, when you think about the force buys, it's almost always scouts and pistols.
Yeah. Sometimes even the double scout from CT is just contesting down mid. I know Endpoint was a team that really liked to go for that. Of course, that was pre-changes to the Dust2 middle suicide area.
Yeah, but even taking the long fight, you know, it seems to be a priority in some force buy rounds.
Now, though, heading into a big stack, but Urcast dies without using the util. Flash is good. XigN is better. Goes through for 2 with the CZ. And the MP9 can come through as well. It's just buying some space and buying some time. It's all down to Cabal and Score as they try to recover. Cabal smoked off and separated from the bomb. Score left back. And Cabal has to be careful. He's not expecting this push from LT. He's not expecting this push from Dobu. Dobu's hesitated. Dobu's lost his timing. Dobu's lost his window. Cabal still concerned about mid. Dobu needs to be snappy. He spots out the first opportunity, misses it, but it's XigN to come through and recover, and Score's been forced to make noise. He tries to fade away back to a better angle, but there is no better angle. These CTs aren't pushing him. Score, he's lost it. He's lost it. No chance any longer. All he can do is try and get some kills, try and make sure these AKs can't be taken forward, but instead, it might just be another gun given up. XigN will lose his mind. What an ace from him. All down to some CZ kills. Man.
Such a mental round from XigN, and we saw him do some great stuff against a Raft. You know, we talked about that overpass, that one of these rounds where they saved AKs. He was a massive problem for a Raft, and this time when it came to the IHC short push, he was again the same issue. Even when he was on low HP, he just kept on taking fights. You know, he was expecting to die and get traded out by a teammate, but he just kept on surviving, kept on landing headshots. Not a round you expect, but one you never argue with. Pistol win. Forced by win right back. Another IHC nightmare. It's happened in the second half of Inferno as well.
Oh. How did 9 have 70 HP? Was he dinked through a wall? Must have been.
Yeah, not gonna pretend like I saw. Even 9 didn't see.
NKT has to be careful that they don't end up falling victim to their own success. Can't lose these guns to a force buy. Well, util for the T side makes it a little bit easier with 45 seconds. Smoke down middle. B bomb side is the only place they can feasibly go to. Now, Dobu could try and push in from behind them, but it's Urkos who needs to get aggressive with information, and that info might be coming too late. At least he's able to relay the fact that Dobu needs to go back towards the B bomb side, and rotation starting to come in, but is it going to be too little too late? Great flashbang, a second one to boot. Kens is trying to take the duel. Score will end up taking down Techno, and he does make up for it with another few kills. They've got control of the bomb site, but the problem is Urkos coming in from behind. The MP9, always the movement machine, and they will recover what looked to be a potential for tragedy.
I can tell they really wanted to get that bomb plant down, but in spite of the fact that there is this team kill, they get these 2 openers, but yeah, never expecting the fast flank. The fact that Urkos was hyper mobile once he cleared top middle, giving the signal to his teammates that it was going to be a B-side finish. He did not hesitate to instigate on the flank. Now just the Glocks out, and you know, there were good upgrades coming away from that. Didn't hold on to an SMG. Maybe would have wanted it around like this.
9. Ooh, spots up players over in top mid. Good nade. Doesn't actually do anything at all, but it looked like it was going to be good.
Can be super risky doing that, especially if they identify that it's solo mid. Late timing, so lower tunnels could have pushed in, but pulling out a nade is always a bit nerve-wracking.
Clock train has set its destination over for short. Flashes to come through, and they drop down to CT. It's a diversion as they start to go back trying to find Dobu, but Dobu is very well aware of the possibility. This train is going nowhere.
Yeah, it didn't overcommit to the fights either. Got those 2 kills and immediately started to hide because his teammates started fighting in from the car position. So NKT are doing some good jobs of prioritizing their life. Building money, that is the key. Especially CT side of Dust2. There's a lot of trading that occurs. It can be very difficult to fall back to safe positions. A lot of positions do get spammed. You talked about there's a lot of angles, but the real issue is the distance usually. Lower tunnels push from NKT is a bit of a disruptive call to make. IHC right now is setting up for what looks to be some kind of a B-side execute. Blitz just fancied a gander, fancied a peek, and Dobu is found, but 9 never spotted.
Looked like it was the perfect timing for a second, but Cabal was covering off. 9 will find a space. Well, not much of it. Top for a second, maybe.
Very awkward. I mean, it seems like Kents wanted to link up with the lower tunnels players, but once Dobu died, it felt very disjointed, very disconnected. 9, I think, just wanted to find his own timing, but was kind of forced to take that fight once Kents died.
He decided he's going to be forced to save as well. But you're right, it didn't look like everyone was on the same pace, that's for sure. And this is where NKT have to make sure that these fumblings cannot be coming in right now. On the bright side, I do believe we should see the AWP purchased up from 9 as well in the next round. That's something to look forward to. But I am curious about whether that gets aggressive or not.
Yeah, there's been a lot of cheeky moves that have been developed in more recent times, especially because of the changes that have happened to the T side of middle. You know, teams sometimes like to throw like a deeper top mid smoke from the CT side to sort of threaten that they can push lower tunnels. There are ways in which you can sort of one-way over that smoke as well. You boost up behind it, close to the doors, and that's a very hard peek to adjust for if you're peeking in from suicide.
Absolutely.
You feel a little cheesy, but that's the kind of cheese that you expect to see when you play the European teams.
Annihilation. Oh, this spray is doing nothing.
Wow.
That was not on purpose. I will make that clear.
I mean, it looked like it was going to be on him, but it was just apparently a little too high. Finally, the last bullets connect, and oh man, the burst into that A site. XigN tried to escape through the site smoke, but not going to be able to do anything with it. 9 did invest in that AWP, but has found zilch. Burn it all to the ground. IHC taking that A bomb site. 3 on 5. There's no way they can convince themselves to take this one, and they're not even going to try.
Well, no surprises that they do go for the save over here, but hopefully we can see some of those suicide aggressions coming out soon afterwards. Now, the only thing that I am slightly lamenting about the fact that there are 5 players alive on the IHC side is that, in fact, Annihilation will not be automatic. So we won't have that up-on-up duel just yet.
Yeah, there's no need. I've got a perfectly good rifle right in my hands. Seems like it's going to be an A-sided stack. I'm taking that AWP. Oh, actually, no. Going for the long peek. XigN actually had the spawn, but it's dedicated to the one to the cross. Annihilation trying to go out alongside all the flashes, and while he's looking at the floor, XigN will be able to get 2 instead. Cabal wasn't quite ready for the trade either. They got across so quick because of the mobility that MP9. Let's go around the smoke, see if we can find something right back. Gets Urcast around the smoke, and while XigN will find him, AK that was retrieved off his teammate. Blitz and Techno are all that's left, and they weren't a part of the action.
Round from XigN coming out of there. Just
was a bit confusing that he was giving up the AWP.
Yeah, but the idea that he just taps with the MP9, that's on close range as well. It's not even like long range. That's quite nice to see.
And then he's given the ult right back.
Yeah.
He used the spawn perfectly.
Well, he's about to be given a kill with the AWP as well. Techno, however, actually, shot's been baited out, and Dobu finds him instead. And won't be able to go on beyond his 3, but at the very least, he's been good for a lot of money as well with it.
Good kill from Blitz. Divides these 2 bomb sites. Parts the blue sea. See if Blitz can actually surf up on one of these walls. XigN thinks he might not have actually made it into the bomb site, but finally hears the steps. Oh, jumping up would be a massive risk, but Blitz actually stuck to it. Oh, jumping no scope finds nothing. XigN just trying to play his life, and while there will be a kill, an instant trade, XigN was coming off of short. It was about delay tactics, really, there from XigN. If he did get the kill, then so be it. The gods are with him. But great trade from XigN instead. And great utilization of that spawn. You know, we highlighted while we're watching this round, but XigN gave up his AWP to take the MP9 so that he could get across pit so quickly. That IHC long take was something that they tried in the round prior and were very successful with. And an immediate adaptation. Now we get to see it.
Once again, long aggression coming out. XigN is again giving up the AK, rather given the AK-47. Just have to use that spawn appropriately. Can't be the first person crossing over with an AWP after all. Leave XigN behind. Mid's been completely neglected by IHC yet again, and Dobu's likely going to be looking to make his way back over soon. In smoke comes out, and they are still focused on short for IHC. Quick flashbang over, pop through, but... Huh? How is Techno blind?
Maybe turn too quick. Jump the gun.
Going for the
come at a punishment.
Going for the full set of the Vanguards, but the grenade is so good. Molotov right behind as well. Techno's been separated from his teammates because of it. So much damage onto Blitz. Another grenade. How does Blitz not fall to that? And now caught with the Molotov in his hand is Techno. Urkos and 9 are just dismantling any sort of aggression to come through. They don't know that Cabal is also lurking over, but Cabal's been forced to make noise. He's faced down by XigN. Does win the duel out, but it still doesn't look like they've got a chance of getting onto this bomb site whatsoever. Kens takes the time to push through LT. And Annihilation will be looking to regroup and back off. Or are they really? Oh, now he has to. Come on. Surely.
Kind of looked like that was the plan. Annihilation was giving up a lot of territory on towards short. And then as it came to it, Cabal pushing in, too separated from Annihilation. Felt like they were a little split about what to do, because him saving actually has some value. You know, a lot of his teammates can invest into the next round if IHC decide to go alongside it. Only one that wouldn't be able to afford much is Techno, but we've seen IHC pull together less ideal buys.
I really hope they've got a game plan for this one other than a straight up default where they're trying to let Annihilation go for some picks. Just any sort of thing to enable an early aggressive push. Any sort of early aggressive peek. Oh. I like this. Chooses not to fire out for the first two. Instead waits for the AWP, and 9 is just so prescient off the possibility. Man! You have to just give it up for him right now. He is hooked up to the server. He's got an RJ45 cable in his brain.
Yeah, that's pretty toxic as well. Annihilation fired off that AWP shot, and you can see how good a read these two have of each other. The fact that Annihilation is holding for it, then 9 having the presence of mind to realize that maybe they fall off after missing that first shot. Now, those are small reads that comes with great exposure to your opponent.
Really, it's just a chess game for these guys, but chess games where the pawns and bishops have been working out. Score. Oh, good nade. Blitz is going to be feeling a lot worse for wear. Urkos as well just peeks back over, even has some space to back off. Refaces instead, doesn't know this other player, but he's been given info. Blitz doesn't wide swing instead. Just tries to jiggle it. Urkos. What a monstrous player he can be sometimes.
Wanted the extra. Heard Techno repositioning. Come on, Techno. 30 seconds. Never a chance. Nobu had pushed in behind him. Thought that was safe territory. He was there moments ago. NKT are on a roll. IHC right now struggling with some of their spacing, struggling with some of their takes of positions. NKT have some great counter utility to contest these high traffic areas. I have to consider what IHC even run as a solution. It's strange because we haven't seen them go for too many B-sided plays, but in the one round that they decided that they were going to try something like that, they got pressured by a lower tunnels push and something aggressive from Kents as well on the anchor roll. And we haven't seen IHC venture back through those darkened drabs of the B bomb site, through those tunnels in quite some time.
NKT are looking so good right now. And honestly, I just want to go back to this point. Going into the series, I was just of the mind that, okay, yeah, IHC is just going to wipe the floor with them. It's going to be a quick 2-0. And right now, well, it's proven to be anything but at least Blitz has not given up the fight yet.
Good re-aggro. Secondary player was with him, but not close enough to trade. Secondary kill for Blitz, though. Sharp shooting on the Deeg. Really trying to milk this one. Our IHC being patient about it.
They do have a real chance in this. If they can find a quick dig onto Kents, then this rotation back to the B bomb site's going to be huge. But it doesn't look like IHC are committing to a possibility of actually winning the round, though. With how far away this bomb is, it's going to have to give information less Urcast. And oh yeah, Kens just peeks in, and Urcast knows exactly where this bomb is going as well. Cabal will fall. Op can be recovered as well. NKT finds 7 comfortably.
It's so funny that when you watch players, you see some different attributes about them, right? Like, Kent's great player, doesn't always put up the highest numbers for NKT. You know, typically I think Dobu will kind of steal the show, sometimes XigN as well, his lurks are super impactful. Kent does usually get his 20 kills, but he is really sharp. Like, when he hits the head, it looks like the most mechanical thing ever. Like, sometimes you see players struggle a little bit, hit the headshot like the second or third bullet. Kent's, it's like first bullet every time.
Every single time. I'm wondering what 9 is going to be up to. Are they going to push in? No, surely not. Doesn't seem like there should be any need to do something so drastic yet. But no control of a shot, and there's a real opening that IHC have found if they feel brave enough to go in without smokes, if they feel brave enough to contact, and Urcast has started to realize that now as well. Problem is, 9's found score, and that's a crucial kill because it also gives them information. Deep Molotov, deeper grenade could follow in as well. Urcast has it in his hand, and as it gets shocked right into them, Urcast is going to be fading away. Very content with backing off here. XigN could have maybe looked to molly out short, but instead Techno's going to be taking the duel. Urcast mollied, and it's Urcast to just find his way out of that utility. He's done so much damage already, and he might as well go ahead and do some more.
Yeah, they've been trumped. Urcast has been so elusive. Great refrag from Cabal to make this even feasible, get a bomb plant down, but another player approaching in from CT rather swiftly, and actually short is progress. No, Dobu as well, flushed out of position. The smoke that's down on the bomb site, Cabal could get this one planted. They're not peeking in just yet, not waiting until he gets that digit in. 10 seconds, and Cabal will take Sanctuary in that smoke, but fading soon. They're doubled up alongside the Gandalf position and trying to scale in. Right now, 1 ISO, but Kens gets the trade. Spacing perfect there for NKT, but so damn close to a clutch for Cabal.
Cabal plays it so nicely. It's just unfortunate for them that they're not able to take down Urcast faster. Urcast is just the man who's kept that round under lock and key. The grenade, the damage he's managed to find with that, everything that he's done over there, and yeah. Cabal just needed one more teammate, and this round was his. IHC, however, will once again have their hearts ripped apart as they find NKT already having won the half.
Crazy to think that Urcast did all of that with 1 grenade and just staying alive. He's holding that bomb site menacingly.
They're trying to push down Urcast, and 9 is found as well right there with him. XigN does have the AWP, and he's going to be good for just the one, but the refrag is too fast and not aware of the short plays having crossed over so soon. And finally, IHC has been able to identify and punish the fact that these guys are in long so damn quick and so heavily committed.
Nade right on top of Blitz. They've got some extra money to really go for this, but only if they can find these kills quick. Kent's first one that brings it even closer, but tough positions to crack without setting up for a Molotov. Smoke over to at least provide a bit more space. They are attempting.
Good nades coming out from the T side, and now it seems like NKT are receiving the Urcast treatment. I know you said they've got money to play around, but I don't know if they've got that much, so they will just end up backing off Dobu and Urcast. Let's not forget both of them are sitting underneath that 1,000 mark.
Yeah, 1 weapon saved. I think they could have gotten the full buyout, you know, with the appropriate amount of dropping, maybe even just prioritizing the rifles like we've seen them do in previous maps. But yeah, once Dobu got burned up by that Molotov and they didn't see anyone around any of those smokes, yeah, decided to call it quits. That is the advantage of changing the pace. That's exactly what IHC do. Like you said, they identified that short was a bit uncontested because of how much NKT were fighting for that long pressure. And rightfully so. You know, IHC prioritized that on their T side early on. But now that they sped things up, NKT will have to try and play anti-rush fairly frequently. A lot of damage done onto score. Went for the long peek because of the spawn. Again, a default round here from IHC. I think they're anticipating an adaptation. And we've seen, actually, NKT double up in the B bomb site a fair few rounds, at least the past few, because they may be anticipating that IHC will lean that direction, considering how unsuccessful they've been on A. They're sticking to their roots. B bomb site? What B bomb site? Maybe this B bomb site. Maybe this round.
I was wondering, it's like, this looks like a B bomb site hit, Michael.
Yeah, I mean, the bomb started making its way over there, and I've got to call myself out for it. But look, double committed into the site. You know, they're anticipating something like this.
NKT are ready. Especially when you consider the Molotov that 9 has in his possession. Kent is holding that grenade. He is holding on to it. And that grenade might not even be needed. Dobu, though, fully flashed up. Nade doesn't do as much damage as you thought it might. Kent has been forced to take the elevated angle, but he's gone and found 2. Trying to duck away. It's the op to rotate, and Annihilation has intercepted that rotation. Secondary rotation is going to be so far away. Urkos had to go all the way back from spawn, and Blitz is already crossed over, but he's been spotted in the cross. Annihilation isolated in this one-on-one. They've made the call. Urkos should know. Urkos should have every idea. And Annihilation's been found. He's been taken down. They still don't know where Blitz is. They move back to check him. Just go for the defuse. Urkos might no longer have time. Blitz thinks it might be a fake. Oh, right at the corner, right at the cusp. Blitz will make his way in. Every single opportunity for that round to go wrong. Every single chance, and Blitz. Oh my god.
What a risk. I simply can't believe it. We saw, what, Blitz make a similar move on Nuke? You know, he made that long vent rotate, and he came through main. Called a massive bluff and tried to wait things out. He was spotted. I don't know why NKT didn't just make that leap, play a bit more safe on that secondary player, especially once Annihilation's found, progress into the bomb site. Like you said, try and get yourself in a position where you can defuse and don't let Blitz have an opportunity at a gunfight. But they wanted to fight him. They wanted to put it to rest. Thought maybe Blitz pulls his knife out as well. You know, that's maybe some of the internalized thinking that's going on, but you can have no guarantees. And doubling up, pushing into the site felt like the only guaranteed way for NKT, and they fumble it.
And money's gone now off the back of that as well. That round could very well be the only thing that gives IHC an 8-7 half. Otherwise, I thought NKT's in a position to take it a 10 comfy.
Lovely pick from Annihilation to kick off this round. Has had a bit of a rough showing on this T side, but has been getting flanked. He's been getting shot in angles that he's expected his teammates to have been cleared. There have been some good timings for NKT. Over tunnels push.
Techno. Leading in. 9 around the corner. Urkos going for the jump spot. A flashbang down under could make this a real possibility. But Techno's been taken down. 9's found the kill. Grenade there as well. Puts the ball in one headshot territory, and it's not even needed. Urkos is there to cover off. 9 just making sure he's got room to back away. Recovers the smoke as well in the process, but now longest where they'll turn their sights to instead. Perhaps there's still a chance for NKT to go for the 10-5, but they need XigN to pull something out of the hat right here and now. Util all chucked out. XigN forced to reposition. So much damage taken. Good flashbang. Great push. XigN will be good for the first. AK's got the second. 9's rotation back over. He's recovered that AK, but quickly loses it as well. Annihilation in a 1-on-2. We've seen a 4K clutch from Blitz earlier on. And maybe similar circumstances here for Annihilation. No, not at all. Dobu might have missed a few, but he'll make it up for it. IHC still stuck at 5.
Oh, that's a heartbreaker round, because that would have been a tipping point. NKT, like you said, their money wasn't fantastic. And to think as well, Techno was about to clear that lower tunnels angle. Sort of half checks it, gives it a little glance, makes his teammate think he's full cleared it, and that's the angle that comes back to bite them. 9 doing fantastic work, and the fact that they had that baiting player on short is what helps divide that attention.
Oh my god, that kill is so scrappy.
Yeah, super awkward. If Dobu missed that, Annihilation's the type that will flick the hell out of you if you miss that first shot.
Is this a fast B play that's just being planned out right now for IHC? It might be. It might be. This grenade doesn't do as much as I thought it would.
Yeah, Techno got around the box, so that protected him from the shrapnel.
Dobu's even firing inside the smoke. They seem to have a decent idea of what could be the possibilities coming their way. But Nine's not got much util either. Deep Molotov goes in, flashes to try and give Kent some space. Kent has come through with the trigger discipline. He's got themselves everything. Cabal's the only one left. NKT makes 10 anyhow. Well on their way to potentially winning this out. Looking like IHC's chances are closing. We'll have to wait to see whether they still have any left after this short break. Miramar. For IHC, a much longer road, but one they are desperate to get started on.
One that has to be nerve-wracking. IHC with the commanding 2-0 in the upper bracket. They got themselves into the final. This being that final day, they had it easy. They had it easy going. They had full time to prep and recognize who they were going to be up against, but this version of NKT looks so damn different from yesterday's. Can they actually find recovery? Got a lot of util for an anti-rush play.
Walls made the call. They realize
Counter-smoke is fantastic.
Yeah, but the tags are there. Techno's position has been given up. He's trying to cross over. They need to be aware there's a player nearby. Finally, they check it, but by the time they do, Cabal's already dismantled them. What a way to make a statement. IHC now on the CT side are not ready to let go of this map just yet.
Cabal was that hanging piece of bait that just kept on reeling that fish closer and closer. NKT full distracted because they thought they had him exactly where they wanted him. And then they finally checked their backs and Techno is just breathing down their neck. Perfect setup, perfect bait. IHC pistol round win. It's been the 4 spies that have been a major disruptor in both of these maps so far. They won the T-side pistol. Let's not forget in the openings of Dust2, but were promptly dealt with by a 4 spy, a tendency that's actually been noticed, I think, throughout this qualifier. Had similar round difficulties against the Mongols, who were first to be eliminated this tournament. Made that game much closer than it needed to be. But NKT don't commit to the force. They have recognized as well they are that much closer to the finish line that they are willing to take the knee. Only for a round like this, though.
This one should be a freebie, but we've seen should be a freebie before as well. So we are able to capitalize, but it starts off nicely. Grenade is good as well. Should be able to keep 9 down. 9, XigN. Man, I keep saying 9 instead of XigN and the other way around as well. XigN is a player who, you know, hasn't necessarily had the most shine other than in one particular round where he did manage to bring out the ace of the CZ. Turning point round for NKT, that was, and we're hoping that we can see a bit more from NKT side as well. Keds will get the only kill this round, but Blitz will clean things up and keep his money very happy.
Trying to think of a tongue twister with XigN and 9, but it got so convoluted in the story that I was building that it didn't make any sense. I'll work on it. It's material for the future. Maybe there is no future, though, for IHC. Dealing with the Glocks, that's maybe a little confidence builder, sure. But the full investment now from NKT, let's see how they prioritize on this T side. So IHC take long control very early, then go for faster plays up short and mid.
Molly crossed.
NKT are as dynamic.
Molly crossed over on the smoke right there. NKT. I wonder if you start to think that the enemy team's getting a little bit nervous when you see mistakes like that, but who wouldn't be nervous in this situation?
Won't result in too much, but, you know, maybe an extra resource you could use. Sometimes those small things do tally. Man, again, you see this confidence bringing from Urkas, going for a dry face off of the catwalk. See if he can pick someone off on that A-bomb site. Only spots a shoulder. And enough to give Blitz a couple warnings about the territory that NKT control. 50 seconds, they'll start to creep their way out through middle. Urkas once again leading that charge, but no one's spotting from it from the A-bomb site. Right now, it's only the window player, and that AWP of Annihilation spotted back plat.
Plat is dope, but he takes the peek forward anyway. Cabal spotted but not eliminated. Annihilation should be able to find this one if XigN starts to peek in. Middle is just not open for business. NKT have found nothing in this T side so far. It looks like, what, I think they've had 2 kills so far in these 3 rounds? Something on those lines, at least.
Sounds about right.
That's also concerning when you start to consider the trends of NKT and their T sides in general.
They do often slow down. Not in terms of just round conversions, but, you know, chronologically, they do, in fact, slow down. Temporarily. Good stuff, though, from IHC. A little strange. You know, NKT did actually have this timing window to exploit once they took contact into the window. Quick smoke deployment towards CT felt like it was supposed to be a part of the protocol, but was not. Ended up getting split between the two bomb sites, and when you're fighting out in middle, out in no man's land with no smokes, it can be very difficult to make any sort of progress. Less concerted effort overall for IHC in the long take, but if they can get that molly down freely, if they can get the smoke as well, then they won't commit more resources. Nyan's scout shot almost looked like it should have been on, but maybe a little bit of added movement, added spice that wasn't a part of the recipe.
And Kitty's still looking for the recipe, hoping that some of it can be on the back of Zion's headshot. Oh, dope with good damage, man. That's some solid stuff. Problem's going to be scored. Just got a flashbang to help him out and a second grenade over here as well in case anyone's gotten close. Molly's going to be keeping them at bay, so even if Kent does find the kill and they recover some of these rifles, it won't be the easiest thing in the world. They still need 9 to frag out with this scout. Gun barrel spotted out. Call has been made. I don't think that's a bait right there from the CTs, but a shot fired out as if it was. Annihilation has got a player coming in with a grenade out. Annihilation, however, just quickly refrags. It's Blitz and Annihilation to stay alive on this A bomb side, and some good damage dealt from NKT, but they need a little bit more just to keep the economy of the CTs down. Still fighting back as Kent's great flashbang, and Blitz will finish him off the back of it.
Yeah, it's been unfortunate that you're stuck in a position where you can see where these players are. They even saw the ult barrel of Annihilation as he had made his way to elevator as well, but they just couldn't do anything about it. Running on very low resources, pulling out a Molotov as well. Sometimes the timings wouldn't work out, but they didn't have Molotovs in the first place. So it was all about whether they could flush them out of position and land the shots when they decided to swing. Good tag there from Dobu. Not the usual AWPer, but one that felt like he had a good spawn to take the fight. Oh, it's not Annihilation. See, this man moving between bomb sites was on B plat a few rounds prior, and now over on that A bomb site. Triple B setup here for IHC. All close tunnels, all close car. This is going to be an aggro push.
They're trying to give themselves a better Xbox smoke with their Cabal, however, while they're setting that up late into the round, has taken full control of a tunnel. Dobu's blue move past the smoke, rather the grenade. We'll find Techno, but does he realize Cabal's pushed all the way into T-spawn and that there's a second player nearby? Blitz to take the peek, and Dobu has over-aggressed. In the meanwhile, Cabal is going all the way back to T-spawn and pushing into long to see where they're going. Although I think their alarm bells will be ringing pretty soon regardless, that this could be a B-side hit.
One of the disadvantages of this wall introduced into T-spawn is that it's actually harder to actually accomplish anything on this flank. He's missed a timing to get that bomb because the XigN entry on the B bomb site is the crack they needed to get that bomb into an open plant. There is going to be somebody hot on his heels, though, something that I think XigN may recognize soon enough, but actually wanted to try and force a fight. Molotov won't do much. Cabal moved past it, and XigN has no idea. Has to try and fumble something together. Half of his HP gone. A secondary player was there to secure it anyway. It's a tied round for IHC.
That Molotov actually ends up being what is their undoing. If it was a little bit shallower, maybe it would have made a difference, but it was far too deep, and Cabal already moved past it. They feel like they don't need to check tunnels. They feel like they don't need to worry about it because it's mollied off, and that is their mistake. But Dobu, and so very greedy on that second peak.
I would agree that greed is maybe an appropriate word, but because he'd lost Kent and because there was this timing gap, you know, you can understand it. Usually it's 2 players that are going to be going for an aggro push like that, not 3.
Yeah. Makes sense.
So it could have really cracked open that B bomb side had he got the kill, but it has its risks, it has its rewards, and ultimately that reward didn't end up getting cashed in. What has been is that coupon code for a quick on catch-up here from IHC. Second half has been far more fruitful. Pistol round all the conversion rounds as well, keeping a pretty good handle on the economy as well. Not losing too many players for any of the NKT efforts. Now we have an NKT half buy. Feels like they're going to get brushed aside though. IHC should sneak into the lead here.
You would hope so. To set themselves up for a free mapper at the very least. NKT, as good and as dominant as they did look in the first half, they have just been nowhere to be seen. Their T side, which was a concern for us before, has now continued to be just that, concerning. Big down mid and
versus first buys.
Maybe this is where they can get something done. Tech9's making their way down. Kens is going to be taking the peek outside of the smoke. Techno spotted out and it should be... What? Techno turns around for the kill? Cabal's also just around and Techno just keeps fighting with the USP. God, I hope we got a replay of that one.
NKT slowed down. Seemed like the call was to speed up for a B-side split, but smoke that was down in the tunnels. You could see the awkwardness there from Kents. Good catch. Replay ops right on top of it. Techno shouldn't have had the upper hand in that fight, but because of how slow they're progressing out of window and not applying enough pressure on the bomb site, didn't secure that frag. Maybe Kents as well making the call that they should slow down because he thinks he has a guaranteed.
No such thing as a guarantee right now for NKT.
Only that the game will be hard. They've had a lot of rough and difficult games in this bracket. To be the ones to really pull their socks up. IHC haven't really been tested in much the same way. It's probably being their hardest game.
Kent is cover off the push, but just wins that one outright.
I can't believe they've gone and done another aggro push like that. Kens has got to be asking for backup now, and I think this is where we finally see IHC will pull the plug on getting aggro B, especially if Cabal's going to get found out going for the late round wrap. But look at all the aggression that's happening simultaneously. There were fights in middle as well. The bomb was spotted out, so IHC have at least a bit of an indicator as to what the plans might be here for the T side. Smoke in for a mid to B, but nobody coming out alongside that. This should be a tell.
At the very least, okay, Blitz is very much out in the open. The problem is that they're smoking off doors in the open as well. I mean, cross is not guaranteed in that circumstance at all. There's no one watching out for the first. If it's a second player, you can still maybe you can put it down to, okay, there's at least the first player is watching mid. He's taking the duels.
I mean, during that mid to B smoke, usually that means that there's a player at the big box or at Xbox.
Yeah.
And so maybe hoping that rotating player wouldn't just fancy the peak afterwards, but got there before the smoke even bloomed. So, was there for that fast rotate. They might have had an extra second or two had he hesitated. Let's had backup.
Knights don't even do anything PT side here, but don't think that should matter too much with the way this buy has gone. NKT are not looking any closer to even getting one out, let alone 6.
Well, this is strange.
On the pendulum call.
Annihilation had a smoke of his own, but his teammate's the one that just decides to hug him, make sure he's okay, throw it.
Oh, Techno's gonna try and smoke this off. Gun has been pulled out in time, and he has got 3 sprayed straight down. All questions about Techno from the previous map have been answered. He is looking ready and raring to go.
We had a talk recently about what the definition is between a small and a big sites player is. And it feels like Techno, when he's in these close range angles, this is the type of skill that you have in your small bomb site. Playing these close range angles, very snappy aim between the targets as he finishes off one, immediately acquires another. Great timing, great awareness, and good communication likely as well with his site partner, IHC. Not losing on these B-site hits from NKT that have tried to be a bit more pacey in a couple of moments, especially because when IHC have had minimal resistance or have had minimal presence over at that B side, they have been isolating and pushing the hell out of Kenz's position.
Yeah.
So they thought maybe this is a chance to punish that. You know, they hesitated slightly, didn't show any presence, and then decided to accelerate, maybe hoping to catch that IHC timing.
Straight down mid and so damn fast. Flashbang to force anyone off, and look, there's no one in mid, so maybe there's a place to exploit this. Urkos definitely has a plan in mind. If you can start to walk out, maybe there's something to be done here. Flashbang, grenade, all still chucked out towards middle, and IHC have rotated back Blitz. He has been a monster so far.
Weird late flash from lower tunnels to upper. Don't think that'll be something that prompts IHC to change too much. NKT just hoping it keeps them busy. This is going to be a split towards A, and Score is alone. He's actually going to get Annihilation around the corner soon, though.
Smoke's gone out. Annihilation has been eliminated as well. 9 and XigN have maybe found the chance to cross over to this A side. Dobu, the only thing he has to be worried about is the lack of the bomb on the site yet, but IHC is just going to turn back and say, despite their money being fantastic, they don't want to be put into a position where the CT economy is what ends up hurting them. We've seen that already twice over today in the NKT games. IHC will not fall prey to that issue.
Yeah, they've got a little wiggle room, so they're going to take that extra cautious step. This can be a part of what modern-day Counter-Strike has to offer us, right? This min-max style where you understand that the percentages aren't going to be in your favor, and with how quickly NKT found those 2 kills, with how separated they were on the map, like no easy way for those B-site players to get that sightline necessary to whittle down the numbers. When you list up the pros and cons, IHC are definitely the pros. Anyone who thought they should have gone for the retake, maybe you're the con.
No cons on the server, though. Maybe in the Twitch chat, sure, Michael, you might be right, but not on the server, not right now. NKT, still very much in it. A couple of great entries is what allows them that luxury, and those luxuries are assisted by the sheer amount of space that Urkos is able to buy for them as well, just by rushing down mid the way he did. Now, this time, you can expect IHC to be more ready for something like it.
Want to see if they eventually abandon this B tunnel's pressure. Like I said, I don't think it's likely IHC decide to go for more of the same.
Oh, no opportunities. No opportunities at all. Techno's just... He's somehow everywhere that they want to go. I'm sure that's what's going through the head. Like, this guy's supposed to be the B anchor. Why is he here just shooting us all down? You can't avoid him.
Yeah, it's kind of mental. I think he had the long spawn. That's why they decided to change positions. And they had nobody B. Think about that for a second. IHC, 0 people B. And just anticipating that NKT wouldn't target it. Read is perfect. As the CT sides for IHC often feel great understanding of what kind of cogs are turning in the NKT Mind Palace.
That palace might have been... It might be crumbling just a little bit. 14-11. Last gun round for NKT before they are forced back into very difficult territory. No off going to be coming out for 9 if they lose this one and he can't save. Maybe if they get a bomb plant, but even then, who knows? And as XigN is going in, it's Cabal to overrun and overwhelm. He's been so very good so far. No matter where NKT want to go, they just lock down. Every single time.
Oh, that's hilarious. Urkos burns to the flames, and then they smoke it off afterwards. But we'll at least find a kill right back. Small gap in the door smoke. Almost feel the sigh from Urkos. I told someone to smoke it, and then someone's like, well, there you go. It's smoked now. No laughing matter, though. Not for NKT. Wanted to try and close this out in 2. Overpass, that dreaded map, the one that they may need to get revenge on, would be our third and decider. They were able to bounce back after a 60-0 on a map like that. Hell, anything is possible. they can find an open access point to insert the pry bar into, get a bit of leverage.
I don't think they're going to find it. Doesn't seem like it, at least. Smoke down to allow Cancer drop and Techno's fall, and in the meanwhile, Annihilation is still there with the AWP. Do they have flashes? No, they have to take him on aim. And as Annihilation misses, maybe this is the opportunity. 9 is now training his scope right in the grave. He is just not getting anything. Kenz's position is known as well. They want to take him down after time, and Blitz's fall will at least mean that that possibility isn't there. But even then, man, NKT, it looked like that missed shot was going to be the window, but Annihilation doesn't miss twice.
Yeah, that's mental as well. The timing is from Annihilation is impeccable. 9 was scoped in on it for so long. As soon as he got off of his weapon, that's when Annihilation swung. Such a marvelous set of circumstances. You can see he was holding for a potential mid-flank, one that never came. See if NKT can pull this one together, or whether IHC will just command a victory. Seems like it will be more of the same. Opening kill for Blitz, but there is going to be a follow-up kill. Trade is good. Score overcommitted past those smokes. Could have played the equal numbers. Now IHC fighting from a deficit, but they have rounds to play with. They also have players close by, so A is not exactly free territory.
But they also have an economy. So there's no reason for them to save, at least not in this round. But at the same time, with the kind of utility that NKT has, this should not be a round that they should be losing. We've seen a few of those, in all fairness. Grenade from Cabal. Won't be able to do too much. Spam won't find much either. Annihilation in the meanwhile. Forced back to Gandalf, and while fully blinded, XigN will catch him out. NKT. Bomb site's been taken, bomb's been planted, and their hopes are still alive. I'll have to say Cabal and Techno might not be for long if NKT opt to hunt.
I actually believe IHC are the ones that need to do the hunting. Dealing damage to this T side has some serious repercussions if IHC are allowed to whittle them down to maybe 1-2 players. They're keeping their heads screwed on tight. They don't want this light bulb to fizzle out. No loose connections. So they're playing every round as if it's their last couple. Play as if you don't have money. Terrorists win. Good result for NKT. They've had some troubles breaching past the initial access points into either side of the map, you know, whether it's been fighting for that tunnel's control. Often it's been IHC that have been coming out on top in those duels. Same with the long pushes. They've ran past those smokes. Those flashes have not done a whole lot. IHC doing a great job of looking at the floor to scale in, similar to what we saw XigN do on their CT side.
I'm trying to chain things up as well. Off straight down middle. No one to contest him though. Going for the peek down directly into mid. Now he doesn't have much space here, and NKT are still going to be hoping to try this one more time. The B-side pop is what's on their mind, and they're really intent on the possibility of this working out. So far, nothing like it. Nothing like that at all. Play out a few of these angles. I mean, they do. But the problem is, 9's got an AWP, so if they start going down towards him, that'll still be really difficult. He's lurking with an AWP, and Cabal is so nervous about this. Techno's missed his shot as well. Kent and Dobu finding the entries, and 9 following it up on Blitz. Now suddenly, things are looking scary.
Yeah, lurking with the AWP there is obviously unideal. You have to flick between a number of angles if you're really suspicious of somebody playing up close. But IHC, this gap that is exploited because of the way they've been playing in the B bomb site, you know, they've been crack peeking the doors, they've been holding these tight angles from the window as well to look for that mid split. I think that's the logic behind 9 being able to sort of work that angle. If IHC decide to swing into him from those tight angles, he can hold it with the AWP. But yeah, super nervous. And I think once they realized that how far 9 got out mid, it was a danger zone. See how critical saving these weapons can be for IHC. That money on the CT side can feel so fragile. Especially if they're going to prioritize getting that AWP. Or they maybe have a couple of moments again where maybe it comes down to 1v1. Maybe they lose. Only a couple more rounds left in this game. At least as far as regulation goes.
Ain't no time like the present for this timeout. Don't want it to come in the next round. Don't want it to spill over into the next map either. Only question is...
the most uncontested area that IHC have actually been able to instigate fights and get an advantage has been B tunnels.
Yeah.
But because they did it so many times earlier in this half, I think they're almost fearful of going for it again. You know, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Fool me 3 times, I don't know what you even call me. So if they try and pull the wool over Kenz's eyes again at B, it's a massive danger. And you're thinking you would get an early advantage, exploit that, but it is so hard to make that call. I don't know how Nine's got that kill. Got the first tag and then just found another wallbang.
Nine's starting to get in his zone. That's what's going on over here. And if there was ever a time to be in it, it would be now. Even managing to get a player inside the blue bins without losing their lives and without even being detected. Score is so uncertain. What's going on over here? Flashbang is dodged out, but this attack is not coming from long. It's a... Oh, no. Score's not going to check this angle. Score's not going to check. He's going to walk right in. He's walking right in. Kens finds a frag, and now Annihilation is terrified. He's quivering. He's shaking in his boots. A flashbang up overhead. A peek right back over. A smoke to try and buy some time. Annihilation knows it's all or nothing. It's all on his shoulders. He's going to find the first shot. Turns around. A flashbang in his face. And a no-scope that won't land. Kens has come through. They've got the bomb site. Urcast. Here's the CTs retreating back, and he knows it's his time to shine. It's his time to hunt.
Surely they go for this. I mean, they genuinely have enough money to reinvest in the next round. They have lost 3 straight. This one doesn't make sense to me.
I think the CTs also have the money to be able to buy the next one regardless.
That's what I'm saying. Like, there is no reason why IHC, in my mind, don't commit to this.
The mental, Michael. The mental's gone.
I thought for sure they were playing this conservative game just to ensure that they had the money for these last couple of rounds. But they have still stuck true to this save first mentality, and they won't even be allowed to do that. Both players hunted down by NKT at the end. Look at that. All that cash that they still have in the back pocket. Or is this all a mind game? NKT know that IHC were trying to save those weapons so desperately. Do they think that they won't have a buy? And then suddenly there's AWPs. There's everything that IHC could need on this CT side. Is this instead another move that's ahead?
Look, while that's possible, and I genuinely do think that's possible, I also just think this is IHC's mental being demolished right now. They're so close to the finish line. And this is something you told me yesterday, Michael, which is that very often teams, when they're at the finish line, the hardest thing to do is to cross it.
They're a map down in this series. They had to cross it.
Solid shot from Annihilation to start things off. He's been relatively uninvolved outside of a few crucial rounds in this map.
This map hangs in the balance. And right now, this round doesn't feel balanced. 2 AWPs. First time they've implemented a double AWP setup here on IHC.
And now it's struck true.
Cabal revealing his.
Difficult angle to deal with as well. When you're playing from tunnels, you're not expecting the person to be playing deep platform on the left side from the T perspective, right side from the CTs. It's an off angle that very, very rarely comes into play.
try a slow creep. Look for the mid to be. Molotov to greet them over at short, but it is Score that sits on the bomb site. Annihilation on the corner. He'll be a little late to the party. Run boost lined up.
Oh, he spots out a player on top of the bomb site. XigN is trying to make his way down over before the elbow player can be a fact. The scorer has been eliminated. The bomb can make its way over as well. There's not much utility for the CTs to retake 9. Straight back to short he goes. Knows he needs to get aggressive, and he's going to be the one who needs to find a few kills here. There's 3 players coming. 9's way. 9 lines up them, but he can't get more than just the one. Now they have to defend from the side itself. A smoke down will provide some solace and comfort, but you can't go back to long. Not while Annihilation is covering. Grenade will be doing some good damage. Kent's all alone. Can the headshot machine come in? No, he can't. IHC, by the skin of their teeth, will find 16 and take it to a 3rd map.
A close, rough effort there for NKT. When their backs were against the wall, they finally get 4 rounds in a row. And I start to question, why don't IHC decide to go for the retake? Why don't they even attempt it? They would have had money anyway. But you see just how fast they try and get out long. The late lurk that they tried to pull off at B. Did they expect 1 AWP? Maybe at a stretch. 2 AWPs?